friends on YouTube, and it's CrobatFTW here, bringing you a 3rd gen Wi-Fi battle versus Schogux on YouTube. Yeah, he's a pretty good Pokemon channel. You can go look at his channel. He has some 3rd gen videos. Anyways, I'm gonna start out with a Venusaur. He starts with a Cloyster. I'm thinking about what to do, and I realize it's not a great matchup because he may have the Ice Beam. I know I'm especially defensive, but I decide to stay in predicting him to switch anyways and go for the Sleep Powder. And that actually misses, which kind of matters. I mean, I don't know it's a Celebi, but it would be nice to get that thing out of there and have it asleep, force it to switch. That Celebi is just going to be a pain later. As you can see, this game is kind of full of hacks, and it's one-sided to his side, but you know, it was a fun match. I could care less. Yeah. And so I'm going to go into this Dusclops here, go for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting maybe a switch, maybe. But I guess it wasn't that great of a play. He ends up going for Calm Mind, which is, oh no. It's bad enough this thing is a Calm Mind. It probably has Baton Pass, which is really bad. And I figured he would, I actually thought he'd set up a little more, but he didn't, so okay. Well, he's going to end up going into this Zapdos, and this thing is going to be even more pain than the Celebi later. So I get a solid chunk of damage on him with the S-Toss, but it's at +1 in special defense and +1 in special attack. So I am going to go for the Pain Split, I think. Maybe. I'm thinking about what to do. I know I am. Alright, no. I actually decide to... I thought maybe Thunderbolt would do less than that, and the S-Toss would probably do more, and I wouldn't get a lot of HP back. I don't know. Maybe I should have gone for that in hindsight. Oh well. I mean, it's not like I would have been able to live 2 Thunderbolts anyways. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to switch out. I'm going to go into this specially defensive Venusaur to take the Thunderbolt super nicely. But, you know, like I said, hacks is hacks all the time. I get the Paralyze, which is just, wow. 10% chance to get the Paralyze, he gets it. 25% chance for Sleep Powder to miss, he gets it. And now he ends up using Hidden Power Ice. And now 25% chance of Paralyze hacks, he gets it. Someone has to calculate the odds for all this para hacks. That's just not fair anymore. I mean, I don't really care. It's fun. It's all in the fun of the game. You know? And I really like 3rd gen. It's cool. So, I decided maybe it's switch. Nah, I honestly think it'd be better to fodder this thing at this point. It is so low a health and it can be KO'd by just about anything. So I'm thinking about what to switch into. I know he has a special defense boost, so probably not Magneton. I decided to go into Crobat, hoping for one of 2 things. Either an Oko with a Choice Banded Sludge Bomb, or a Poison, because it has a 30% chance to Poison, which is a very strong chance of that. There's a very strong chance of that happening. So I go for it, and it puts him into red. I'm like, oh, no Poison. There's a 30% chance to Poison, and there's no... Sorry, and there's no Poison. Hacks is not going my way at all this battle. So Crobat's gone, obviously. I have to go into Magneton, hope that I can resist his moves. Hope. And I'm hoping he doesn't have like Hidden Power Fire. I would imagine Hidden Power Ice, since that would make more sense. But he's gonna go into the thing I didn't want to see, and that's a Snorlax. Oh, I hate these things. You know, I'm gonna have to start using some. I hate them so much. So I am going to switch out, and I'm going to go into Dusclops. Not sure what he did there. He has the Shadow Ball, and maybe that's what he went for. I go for the Pain Split on the switch, but that's a really bad play because it actually gives his Zapdos HP. I mean, I predicted him maybe to stay in, but honestly, that time I couldn't over-predict. It was a safer play. And this actually happens a 2nd time, and you'll see what happens then, and that was pretty much the play of the game. He's going to go for an Agility now, which I don't mind. I really don't. Because this thing's already really slow, and my entire team is already kind of slow. I mean, Mence is relatively fast. It has 100 speed. But I think everything else is pretty slow anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Fortunately, he's going to Baton Pass. Oh my gosh, he's going to Baton Pass into this scary Marowak. That's horrible for me. This thing has Thick Club, and it already has a Swords Dance up, essentially. This thing can sweep teams with an Agility up. So I'm going to go into Mance because I need to get the Intimidate off on it. And that's important. I need the Intimidate. to essentially give it +1. I predicted the EQ, so that's why I did it. Now I'm going to switch into Metagross, and upon its first entry...
I'm Rick Harrison, and this is my pawn shop.
And yeah, he goes for Rock Slide, as the Pawn Star's theme song goes away. Yeah, it doesn't do much, of course, so I'm going to go back into Mence, predicting an Earthquake, which is pretty awesome, because now he gets +0, but then he makes a nice prediction here and goes for the Sword Stance. Too bad, I could have gone for something else. Now he over-predicts or something and goes for the Double Edge, or he thought Double Edge would KO it, essentially +4. Mence lives the Double Edge. And I get off the Hydro Pump. Wow, good job, Mence. Props to you. Clap, clap, clap. So he's gonna go into Snorlax, which pretty much walls this Salamence because really it's specially based. And yeah, Lax takes special hits like a boss. So he is gonna go for the Shadow Ball, and it doesn't KO Dusclops, to my dismay. I mean, really, wow. So this is the key play of the game. I made a misplay here, not a misclick, but I predicted wrong. I thought he'd stay in, predicting the Seismic Toss, which wouldn't do much to Snorlax, because obviously it's a gigantic HP, and I went for the Pain Split. That ruined the game. I mean, that prediction, oh wow. I mean, I've been making bad predictions lately, but, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's just if you're having fun. So Zapdos ends up KOing the Dusclops to that misplay, or misprediction. And honestly, he made a good prediction himself, so I'm going to switch into this Magneton, and I'm going to double switch and go right down to Metagross, predicting Snorlax, because that was the most obvious switch here. So I'm going to go for the Meteor Mash, hoping it would be a 2-hit KO, hoping, right? And it looks like it would be a 2-hit KO, but then he goes boom with Self-Destruct, which is Stab, Adamant, and wow, that halves my defense. But I end up living, so that's all that matters. So that's good. I live with a solid 80 HP. So he goes into Suicune. I'm gonna switch into actually I'm gonna stay in, predicting him to double switch, predicting me to go into like what's it called, Magneton or Salamence. And I ended up going for the Meteor Mash, which was pretty good actually, because it looks like it'd be a 2-hit KO. Maybe it'd be a 2-hit KO. Maybe the Hax Gods are gonna be nice to me for once. And no, he lives with 1 HP, goes for the Explosion, which at that low of HP will obviously KO, despite not having a great attack stat. Well, it has okay attack cluster, but despite not having the stab and everything on the Explosion. So he's gonna go into this annoying Celebi. Finally, I get to at least get some hacks back, which is just for the lulz, really. The game's pretty much kind of over at this point, but there's a little bit of stall at the end, which was kind of funny. He's going to go for a Calm Mind, as I will go for a Thunder Wave. Basically, though, all we're doing here is just having a little mini stall war. While I go for Hidden Power Ice, as he's trying to go for Calm Minds and stuff. So he's at +2/+2. Not good for me, because all I have is special attackers left. And I'm really just crit fishing at this point. That's pretty much it. I mean, I know I've lost if I don't get a crit, which, if I do, that'd be amazing. But as you're gonna see, he doesn't end up getting 2 pair of hacks in a row, which was funny. I mean, that was a little bit of hacks going my way, but it doesn't really affect anything, because he ends up getting the recover off. It was just really a last hurrah charge or something. Something just for the lulz at the end the game threw in to make me feel better. It didn't work. So now he finally baton passes into Zapdos, which is, well, yeah, it's gonna KO this thing. And it makes me really sad. It's a resisted hit, but at +2, Zapdos is just a beast in 3rd gen, apparently. So I'm gonna have to go into my last Pokemon, which is Salamence. I have to, because, yeah. And it's in red, so the game, my back's against the wall. No way I'm gonna win now. I mean, there were some mispredictions in this game. Tons of hacks on his side. I don't know how it would have played out without the hacks. I don't know. I don't really care. It was fun. I like 3rd gen battles anyways. I haven't done one in a while. I mean, this is my first completed one in a while. So, he's gonna just take me out with the Hidden Power Ice. He could have gone for the Thunderbolt or Tackle, Splash. Oh, not Splash. But, yeah, so it's a 3-0 win. And that was pretty much it. So, be sure to check out Shogux's channel. He also uploads 3rd gen battles. He will probably be uploading his side of the battle too. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and